Hey guys, what's up? Lone Berserker here, and this is a commentary 3 versus 3. We have Bactria, the Odrysian Kingdom, and myself as the Getae going up against Macedon, Egypt, and Saba. So, I have my Getae build that I actually used in my last video, so there's nothing has changed about that. We have the Odrysian Kingdom, and he has an army of 4 Thracian slingers, 3 Thracian horsemen, 1 Thracian royal cav, 4 spears, 4 spears, 4 Thracian nobles, and 1 mercenary Felksman. And then he also has, that's not his entire army. Oh, he has these right here. And he has a Thracian warrior on one side and a Felksman on one side, both with a Thracian peltast in front of them. Bactria, he has a Persian light archer, 4 Eastern slingers, yes, 3 horse skirmishers, I think 1 thorax swordsman, and 4 Bactrian hillmen. Then he's got 4 Bactrian noble horse, yes, and then 2 Bactrian royal cavalry. His army is specifically made for kiting and skirmishing. The Egyptian player I'm facing off against, he has 4 Levi Thraeus spears in the front. I think a mixture of Galatian Royal Guard and Thorax swords. Yep, so he has a pretty tough line there. Then he's got 4 slingers, 2 cavalry, and 1 Ptolemaic cav. Then he has 3 Tarentine cav there. Macedon, he's got 2 mercenary Rhodian slingers, 2 militia hoplites, 4 Levi pikes, 4 thorax swords, 2 archers, and 2 citizen cav, a royal peltast, a companion cav, and 2 Tarentines. Saba, he has 3 slingers, yes, 4 slingers, and then how many of these? I think 3 desert spearmen. Then he's got 4 or 5 mercenary Mascat marauders, I think 5, and then he has 5 Sabian camel cataphracts, and then a royal Marib cavalry, and then he has 1 caravan guard. So this is a tough freaking army to beat. These Sabian camel cataphracts are a nut of a unit, and they're way too overpowered. So I'm just trying to shoot Egypt with my skirmishing horse, and then these guys are skirmishing over here. It'll actually take, this is going to be pretty hard to film because it gets very tense later on, so I'll try and do a wide camera view. The debug camera helps with that. So just basic skirmishing at the start here. I think Macedon gets his, he gets his Tarentine stuck here. Well, actually, they run into each other by accident. And then, he tries to charge the slingers, which I probably would have done the same thing. But, he shouldn't have charged with both units, because now he's going to get javelined, and then he's going to get charged by the Bactrian horse there and lose a lot of Tarentines. But here come the caravan guard, and you can see in the back, my skirmishers are just running around with the Tarentine cav. His Bactrian royal cav and his hillmen are going to get javelined there, but it won't be too bad. Now he's going to charge him, and I think he'll form square. And the skirmish fight has started in the center. The Thracian slingers should be able to win that. The caravan guard are fine, actually. And they're going to push into this Bactrian hillman, which they should easily be able to beat him. Now, the Odrysian player is going to try and get a charge on these slingers here. Obviously, that's not going to work, but he just wants to stop him from shooting his flank, as Bactria wasn't close enough to support him. Which makes sense, because Bactria does not want to get close to his opponent. Especially a Saba player with 5 camel cataphracts. There are 4 camel cataphracts. 5, never mind, cheese and crow. I thought there were 5. Those are tough units. So now Macedon is going to push in the center, and I'm going to push up on my right there. You can see Bactria is offensively going at this little wing here. Now, it is smart, but actually we're going to have a fight here in a second. So, in the center, we're going to see a citizen cav trying to charge against these slingers, but it is going to get caught between a spear and a mercenary Felksman. That cav unit is going to try and support immediately. He also has the added support of those Thracian peltast. This caravan guard desert spearman gets absolutely destroyed. Sabian cataphracts charged into that hillman and then immediately got countercharged with the Bactrian royal horse, but that is a risky move because the caravan guard is right there and they're pretty good at taking down enemy cavalry. He's going to get out of that fight immediately, but all he has to cover him is this Bactrian Hillman, and that Sabian Camo Cataphract should easily bowl that unit over. Over here, you can see a combination of Cavalry and Falxmen are engaging the Thorax Sword. Obviously, they're going to lose, but Falxmen can do a lot of HP damage and get a lot of good kills on their charge. Thorax Sword easily beat that spear. I'm moving up with my Cav here, my skirmish horse, to try and support the center as much as I could, because these 3 Egyptian slingers and 4 Thoreo spears were making it hard to skirmish over there. Back over here, you're going to see this Royal Cav here get actually pummeled in a second. With a combination of all those spears, the Cataphract, and that slinger, he's going to take a lot of casualties, but he's also getting a lot of good shots in. Over here, the Camo Cataphract just decided to say, screw you to everyone, and made a charge into the Eastern Slingers. That's not a bad idea, because Eastern Slingers have low morale, so if he can break them, it could pay off actually really nicely. Even if he loses the Camo Cataphract, it's still going to be worth it, because it would have the charge bonus on all those units. So he's going to try and disengage the Royal Horse here, which is smart, and he will be able to do so, but it'll take a little bit more casualties on the run. If Saba had gave an order for the Camo Cataphract to chase it, then he would have taken a lot more casualties. Over here, the Thracian nobles went in and bushwhacked this Militia Hoplite, and now they're going after the Thorax Swordsmen, and these guys will win quite handily. I accidentally charged into the, well, almost did. I almost charged into that Militia Hoplite. I was aiming for the pikemen, and I do get some shots on them. So, and now you can see the Egyptian players trying to skirmish with me with those Thoreo spears, but I'm not going to let that happen in a minute. Forms square with this Caravan Guard, and the Bactrian Horse are going to take a few more casualties if they don't get out of there. If he charges this, actually these two are going to go at it, which is a mistake for the Bactrian Royal Cav, and he knows that, so he's going to get out of there. In this scenario, I would have given an attack order for the Bactrian Noble Horse to stall that unit, and then, yeah, he does actually right there. So, yeah, that was the smart move, and so we can get that unit out. He might even have been able to bring up these horse skirmishers and shoot it a little. This Desert Spearman's charging into this Noble Horse, which needs to get out of there. This Cataphract did die. I don't think it killed any slingers. No, so that wasn't worth it. So then this Falxman's going to get absolutely destroyed, but that Cataphract is going to eat javelins in a second. And he's also going to get pummeled by that Thracian Noble, which is currently getting shot by these archers. So over here, this Egyptian player, which he was doing a smart tactic here, he's using these Thoreo spears legitimately how they're supposed to be used. And he's just running up and shooting me, which is the smart tactic. But I wasn't going to let that happen. I'm going to charge him, he's going to run away, and then I'm going to fully press my army up into him. And I'm always making sure my bow horsemen are able to support on the flank there. They can either go against Macedon or Egypt, so they're in a pretty good position. Back over here, Sabian Camo Cataphract is absolutely taking these two units head on here without freaking care in the world. Bactria is trying desperately to contain these guys, but it's very difficult to. Could probably put it on play since it's gonna get slow in a second here. So yeah, this Sabian Camo Cataphract got a good charge, but it's gonna get shot by javelins, and everyone knows two-handed units with a Falx do extra damage to horsemen, so that unit is gonna get absolutely destroyed. But also he's gonna lose the noble at the same time, so it was a iffy trade. I mean, it was a good trade, but still. There's a huge fight coming in here now. Citizen Cavalry combined with Tarentines, I don't know why, are trying to push back these Thracian horsemen, and he doesn't need to get them out of there because they're going to get shot a lot in a minute. Spears get mismicroed and charged into the Levy pikemen, but that's fine, honestly, because like half of them are going to go around the unit. And so, yeah, here we go. I'm going to charge. I'm just not letting Egypt do what he wants here. I'm going to go right into melee with him. I will pummel these Levy Thoreo spears. Excuse me, with my armored spearmen. And he's going to try and get some flank shots on me, but I'm not going to let that happen. I got my bow horse coming up to shoot the Thorax Sword, bringing up a Mercenary Axe Warrior and a Cav unit. I'll have that Mercenary Axe Warrior attack that Levy Spearman there. And then I'm going to run away again. Probably shouldn't have, because he's just going to javelin me in the back, but wanted to get out of there as quickly as possible. And the Odrysian player, wisely, is going to pull back and support his teammate. Now, in this scenario, Macedon can't do crap because of his pikeman-style army. If he advances, all Odrysian has to do is run away, and obviously you might assume that that would leave Bactria and I's flank exposed, but with our army styles, we would be fine. I could easily contain whatever units Macedon sent at me with my 3 bow horsemen and a spear horse. Now, a lot of stuff is happening over here, so I'm leaving this armored spearman to pin down those units so my bow horseman can get shots in there. Now he's going to rear charge my axe warrior with his Egyptian cavalry. Actually, that wasn't a rear charge. Okay, so he accidentally did that. Alright, I was wondering that. So he's going to do that, but I'm immediately going to start shooting him and charging a spear horse, so that Egyptian cavalry is going to take a lot of casualties. Now he charges me, or tries to, but I'm not going to let him charge me with that unit. In this scenario right here, by the way, I really needed to push this flank. I was so lazy with it because I was just trying to micro all of this. At the same time, Bactria is doing a great job at keeping Saba at arm's length here, and he's getting like exchanges like this. He wants to pin down as many units as he can with his cavalry and let his skirmishers do the work, which they're right there in range, so they can definitely help out in that scenario. And this one Thorax swordsman will actually be able to hold out against these Mascat raiders, even though they're way better. The Thorax sword can just withstand them for a second here. They're literally the toughest infantry unit Bactria has. Well, in this army. So this Egyptian cavalry takes a bunch of casualties. This Levi Thraeus spear starts to rout. We can just put it back on regular speed. I am going right in against this Thorax sword, or I was about to, but I wanted to pin him down with this armored spear first. Now I'm bringing up my Peltist here to make sure they're ready. I had them off fire at will, by the way, keep that in mind. And I'm going to shoot this Galatian Royal Guard with my archers and take down as many of them as I can. Then I'm putting the axe warriors into that fight, and I'm running away from this Galatian Royal Guard because he will steamroll my units. And I am going to get some good shots on him with my bow horse. And look at that. Good, 5 of them died. That's actually a lot. And now you can see I'm finally getting my army moving here, and I'm surrounding my Egyptian opponent. I should have done this way sooner, but that's fine. Now here, okay, this was stupid and it shouldn't have happened, frankly. He's going to charge the Ptolemaic cav through the center. Now it gets stuck on my armored spearmen and I use cavalry counter tactics to pin him down. What I should have simply done is obviously that, but I should have pulled the spear horse from this flank and pinned him down with it, and I should have had all my skirmishers shooting him. I don't do that. In fact, I think I only have a few of my skirmishers shooting him. So you can see I go with the cavalry counter tactics, but at the same time, it was a lot to micro. He charges over here and he engages my bow horse, which I will be able to get them away, and I will pin him down with the spear horse. And you can see I am targeting him. My guys throw one volley here, and I think that's it. And it doesn't really do a whole lot, honestly. So in this scenario, I should have just charged the spear horse over, but I didn't. And frankly, I don't know why. He actually gets 2 cav units through here, a Ptolemaic and an Egyptian cavalry, so that sucked because those were valuable skirmishers and I needed to help take down the Royal Guard in those fights. My general's going to do really good against that Thorax sword. I used Headhunt and Battle Rhythm there, and then I'll use Second Wind once he gets tired. Make sure you use Second Wind on your units, by the way. It's devastating if you don't. So Bactria over here is doing a really good job, and you can see his tactic is starting to pay off. He's kept himself away from Saba, and now he's just going to use his cavalry to surround him and pin his units down here. And you can see this Bactrian Noble Horse getting a lot of kills. This Bactrian Royal Cav is pinning down a Marib cavalry, which will win eventually, but if you can just keep him there for a little bit, then these units will easily be able to pick apart these last desert units. And then these slingers are now suddenly very exposed and can't really do a whole lot. And Bactria still has a full unit of his general right here, and he's probably going to charge that Militia Oblate. And you can see, again, the Odrysian player being smart and avoiding those pikemen. And there's nothing really Macedon can do about this because he's just standing still, honestly. But that's not his fault entirely because he has these pikemen, and they're Levi pikemen at that, so they're not very offensive. And really, he can't do anything about the scenario. The best thing he can do is support his team with what units he has, which he's trying, and he's going to kill this Thracian Royal Cavalry, which is a really tough unit, so... Back over here, things kind of get crazy. All my skirmishers are engaged in melee, and yet they survive. These ones were point-blank firing. They were supposed to be fighting. And you can see I did put my spear horsemen in there, but my opponent wisely attacked with his Galatian Royal Guard, so that's going to be very difficult for me to take down. And these armored spearmen aren't going to be enough here in this fight. There's only 30 of them, so they're not going to do that great anyway. And that Royal Guard is literally just going to be unkillable. I take down this last Levi Thraeus spear, and now I'm attacking with an Axe Warrior and a Spearman behind his units. Honestly, I could have done with charging the back of that Thorax sword, but I had a unit right there so he could do it, and I wanted to help my general out and pin that those 2 Thorax swords down. This armored spearman is going to get absolutely bushwhacked in a second. I'm trying to get my Thracian Peltas out of there, or any skirmishers I can at that. My bow horsemen are doing an awesome job at shooting his Ptolemaic calves. That was really useful. So these guys are probably one of my favorite units in the game. So somehow his general is still alive. I was very annoyed by that, and you can see javelin volley into the back of that. Thorax sword is going to do a bunch of damage combined with the charge. That unit will be dead in a little bit. Thracian Peltas, though, MVP, is not going down easily and actually doing a lot of good damage against them. Someone's general died. I think it might have been Egypt's. No, nope. It wasn't mine, I know that. It might have been Seba's. It was Seba's, so Seba's general died there. At this point, you can see Bactria has won his fight for the most part. He's got a few units to deal with, but those won't be hard to take down. And Macedon is eventually going to get surrounded here, so now all that's left is basically me trying to clean up my fight over here, or try and win it. I got the Thracian Peltas here, throwing in javelins. This is what they need to do, because I really need to damage these guys from afar, because Galatian Royal Guard are really strong. So we're going to get some flank shots in here. And yeah, they'll actually take a lot of casualties from that, so that's good. This Thracian Peltas got pinned down by his calves, so it didn't have a chance to throw its javelins. Excuse the growling, those are my dogs. So, Axe Warriors and Noble Swords, though, they'll be able to take down that Galatian Royal Guard. Now, Egypt basically has 2 Galatian Royal Guard left, and they're not going to be easy to take down. He does have the support of this Macedonian Thorax Swords, though. My Noble Sword General is kind of getting wrecked here because Axe Warriors and Spears cannot kill Galatian Royal Guard. This unit is the bane of my existence right here. So and then again in the middle, basically Macedon realizes that there's nothing he can do except for support Egypt. What the frig was that? That was a huge lag spike. My gosh, I thought the triple speed went on for a minute. So he's moving these Levy pikemen over to the flank to guard there. Then Bactria is running to the center, and then these mercenary Mascat Marauders are trying to come over here, but they're not going to get there in time. And this actually, oh gosh, here we go. Well, you're about to see what happens when a Thracian noble absolutely, oh, he gets friendly fire, no. But that's going to do a lot of casualties and easily take down that Mascat Marauder. But once the other ones get in there, that'll even out the fight. And he's very tired too, so. And now I'm going to be able to use my bow horse to shoot the backs. Actually, I think they're out of ammo. No, they still have their bows out. So I was aiming for those pikemen at this point. And I am going to get a pretty good engagement and kill a bunch of these Levy pikemen before they can actually get their pikes out. And then I'm going to surround them so this pikeman will die quite easily. So at the same time, I'm recharging these Levy pikemen here. And that'll do a lot of morale damage since Levy pikemen do not have good morale at all. You can see that actually is doing a lot of good damage. But my cav unit was very injured there, so. And I think my general died just a second ago. Yeah, my general is dead, so I was heavily relying on my noble swords at this point, which against the Levy pikemen and the Galatian Royal Guard should be able to do pretty well. Finally, I kill the Thorax sword, or at least make it waver, and at this point, the battle is basically over. So that was a pretty fun one. Egypt's army style almost screwed me over there in the beginning. If I hadn't charged, then I would have been shot to death, so it was the decision whether or not to charge. Okay, so the Odrysians, Thracian nobles doing very good, actually. All of them getting great kills, well, except for this one, but he didn't fight that much, and he still had a good amount of health. Obviously, Thracian horsemen not the greatest units, so they're not going to do that good, but the Thracian Royal Cav doing really nice. One of the Thracian Peltas got 88 kills and an XP chevron, so it's good. Thracian Slingers really not bad because they suck, so all they really need to do is just shoot the units in front of them or distract enemy skirmishers. Felksman not the greatest. Frankly, I don't know why he brought that unit. I don't know why people use it. I think it has more charge than the Thracian Warrior, but it dies faster, so I guess it makes sense. And Spears obviously just doing what Spears do. And then Thracian Warrior getting 125 kills. Macedon here, his general did really good. Citizen Cav though, and Tarantine Cav not the greatest. Archers doing really nice. They actually did get a lot of kills on those Thracian noble infantry, so that's good. Then the Rhodians not that bad. Actually, 181 is really nice. Thorax swords all around doing pretty well. I think they got a lot of good quality kills. Militia Hoplite is not the greatest. This Royal Peltas got absolutely crapped on. I'm assuming it got charged by a Thracian noble, and obviously Levy Pikemen not the greatest. Bactria's cavalry doing pretty good all around, actually. Some of them, well, a lot of these kills were quality kills because they were on Saba's Cataphracts, so obviously they're going to be nice kills. Then Horse Skirmishers doing alright. The Slingers not doing bad at all, and the Persian Light Archer doing pretty good. Then this Thorax Sword got 81 kills, but it did get a Chevron, so I'm guessing it did pretty good. And then Hillmen, not the greatest, but again, they're just Hillmen. So this Bactrian army is, I don't know how the hell people play like this. It's so difficult. It's so much micro. It takes a lot of practice to get good at. And I've faced off against them before. They're freaking impossible to beat. You have to use, obviously, certain build types to win against them, but I probably would never be able to beat an army like this. So Saba did pretty well, all things considered. His general, though, I don't know why he went with the Royal Marib Cavalry. Maybe because it lasts longer in melee instead of the Royal Sabian Camo Cataphracts. The Camo Cataphracts got shut down here. Now let's just put this into let's just give a alternate fight here. Say I went up against Saba. I would have had one hell of a time fighting this army. I would probably not have won. I'll say that right away, because the combination of the Sabian Camo Cataphracts and Mercenary Mascat Marauders is just unbelievable. I've used it before, and the army can just trample over anything. It's so overpowered, honestly. So the Camo Cataphracts, they got shut down there in that fight. The Slinger's not the greatest. Desert Spearmen not doing that great. The Mascat Marauders, some of them getting good kills. I'm guessing a lot were on those cavalry units. And then that Caravan Guard actually did really good. That is a nice, fun unit. So my Noble Sword's doing great all around. Getting double chevrons and a lot of kills. Archer's not the greatest, though. I don't really know why. I think it's because they might have died because cavalry got into them. Thracian Peltas didn't get a lot of kills, but you can see they both got a chevron, so they killed valuable units, most of which were Ptolemaic cavalry. Then my Spear Horsemen getting 140 kills with the chevrons, that's really good, and the other two not the greatest, though. The Bow Horsemen definitely were the MVPs in my army of that battle. They did so much good work. They helped all around, too. The Axe Warriors doing very nice, honestly. These are great kills for Axe Warriors, in my opinion. The Armored Spears, though, this is more of a reality of the unit. They suck. They're not good. But I do like using them because I would rather have them than regular spears, which just die faster. Plus, Armored Spearmen have cavalry counter tactics and more armor. Then the Egyptian general did well. He got a lot of good kills on my skirmishers there and definitely helped his army. Egyptian Cav, though, not doing the greatest there. I was able to contain the Tarentines quite well, same with the Egyptian cavalry. The Slinger's not doing the greatest, honestly, but I was able to get to them pretty quickly. The Galatian Royal Guard, obviously, look at the kills on these guys. Great kills and quality kills, too. Let me the Radio Spears. So you can see, let's just look at the Egyptian army here for a second, and this is why I don't play this faction. All of the units in the Egyptian army utterly suck, except for the Galatian Royal Guard. The Radio Spears are good and versatile, but they're not going to last long, even with their square. They're just going to eventually die, and they're not going to get many kills. And that is what that's the problem with the Egyptian army, is it can last a very long time in a straight up fight, but it's not going to kill anything. The Galatian Royal Guard have to carry the army, which is a significant problem because of their price. I mean, Egypt, you really have to come up with some interesting builds with Egypt to make them good. And sometimes altogether leaving the Galatian Royal Guard out of the army is a good idea, but I think they're just way overpriced. I think they should have gotten a buff and depriced them, because that's just, I don't even know if deprice is a word, but I just said it, so it is now. Alright, well, that was a fun 3 versus 3. I really enjoyed it. I haven't played a team battle in so long, so that was I was quite nervous. I thought I was gonna do really bad and not support my team, but I actually think I supported them quite well. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.